Nearly 2,000 years ago, Jesus Christ, the Son of God in human form, walked the earth that he had created. Jesus taught the people of his day in many ways, often using figures of speech such as metaphors, allegories, and parables. He would speak of common everyday places and things in the people's surroundings to illustrate important spiritual truths to them. One such imagery Jesus used was that of the vineyard, which were everywhere in Israel. Work in the vineyards of Palestine was both laborious and at times dangerous. Hedges and watchtowers were built to protect the precious fruit from wild animals and marauding thieves. We invite you to use your imaginations along with us and travel back 2 millennia to the land of Palestine, to the vineyard of Ezra ben Chelub, just outside of Jerusalem, who with his servants is beginning another day of tending and pruning this most valuable crop, the fruit of the vine.
Lord God, you've been so good to me, Lord. Our fields are full and rich. The granaries are overflowing, Lord. The wine vats are full. The children play happily outside our farm. Our servants are all well cared for, fed. Your psalmist said it well. The mercies of the Lord endure forever. Who am I, Lord, that you should be so good to me? How can I repay all your benefits? I will lift up the cup of salvation and praise your name. The day is full, Lord. I have many under my care. Be pleased to bless us this day of harvest.
Good morning, my Lord.
Good morning, Miriam. Good morning, Naomi, Shua. Good morning.
Beautiful morning. Thank you.
I trust you women slept well.
Yes. You did. Beautiful morning we have.
Is there the fire prepared?
Fire is prepared.
Thank you, Miriam. And what's on the menu for breakfast today? Can you outdo yourself as you did yesterday?
I'm not too sure, my Lord. We will have a satisfactory meal.
My wife and children up yet?
Not yet. Would you like them?
I'm going to need the older ones to help in the harvest today. Everyone must do their share.
Very well.
Very well. I'm ready for breakfast.
We will prepare for you. Anything else?
I believe that will be all. I'm looking for my trusted steward.
Thank you.
Have you seen Derekiah?
I believe I saw him out in the field. Come in.
Derekiah,
I'll make this.
believe my bowl. I left my wooden bowl back in the farm. Would you please get it? Yeah. Trusted steward. Sir. The first face I see, my faithful steward. There's much work to be done today. All the farm hands, are they up?
They're just about up, yes.
Are they refreshed from yesterday? Thank you, Miriam. They worked hard.
Much as they could be.
I like to put it this way, Derek. I like to water my horses. Both those that are literal horses that draw our pack wagons, and of course our faithful laborers. I think I called for Kinnereth to come early this morning, beyond his usual time. I want him to get a sample of the tendrils. Ah, Kinnereth, faithful servant. Yes, and I also see you have your son with you today, which is an added blessing. I plan to have my sons work with me today as well. I need you to go down to the lower 40 and get some tendrils. I understand that there were so many there yesterday. It was hard for my grape pickers to get maneuver among the vines. I want to see a sample of these tendrils, understood? Bring back as many as you can in time allotted. These are some of the reports we had yesterday. Not as much of a take as I had hoped. Miriam! Before I have the rest of the servants go out, I want you and the ladies to go and bring me a sample of the grapes from the same lower 40 that I just sent Kinnereth, because if they're too ripe and we bring them in too soon, it will spoil the harvest. God be with you. I will have men surrounding the vineyard to make sure you're protected. Have you seen Alanis this morning, the blacksmith? Not yet. Alanis! Ah, there he is, trusted blacksmith. I need you early this morning. I apologize for the early hour. The wagon, the pack wagon, they had trouble with it bringing in the harvest yesterday. The weight of the grapes was so profuse, it untrued the wheel. And I understand that Mishael has the pack wagon harness. It actually broke yesterday. So I'm hoping that after he fits it according to the beam, that you'll be able to take it back and weld it and forge it. But first, the most important thing right now, Alanis, is truing the wheel. Mishael, make sure that this is evenly balanced. The oxen were having trouble pulling in all the grapes. I thought, unlike yesterday, I'll have Shemaiah and his crew go up to the upper hills with the vineyards. They're the strongest there. Vines are the strongest, grapes are the richest. A little steep. We also need the pack wagon in proper order because we have all of the rocks that we have to remove by this afternoon. Let's see. Now I'm understanding, who do you have? Oh, yes. This is the yield, I understand now. This is the yield from last year compared to what we took in yesterday. Make sure that wheel is true. Kinnereth, back so soon.
Yes, brother. Tendrils do not have any life in them, but we haven't tried. Can we possibly graft them in and see if they will get life again and bear more fruit?
These were not connected to the vine.
No, they were not.
Laying on the ground.
Yes, Lord.
There's only one resort for tendrils like this. They must be burned. Gathered and burned. Leave none on the ground. Understood?
Yes, Lord.
I'm trusting we can have my cousin, my kinsman Asher, is supposed to send over fruit to help us with this big harvest that we're expecting. Understood? Have you heard anything from Asher, the men down in the south near the Negev?
In other words,
No runners. I sent 2 runners there. And Miriam, back so soon?
Look, we've got so many.
My
Look how
word.
beautiful.
It is more abundant and more ripe than I suspected. And different varieties.
Beautiful.
These are even more fresh and ripe, Erikiah, than yesterday. Must be because they're on the northern part of the hill. Get the most sun.
We don't even need to harvest and prune anymore. They're perfect.
Miriam. Just the opposite. You must prune them. You see, when they bear fruit like this, if you prune them, they'll bear more fruit. Mishael, do you have those pruners from Miriam? Have some of the men prune, and I will take these. In fact, you can take these into the house. But then you can take the prunes. Make sure the pruners are sharp. I believe, Alanis, did you have the pruners sharpened?
yes.
Okay. Take these back. You can leave these here. Make sure that you stay close to the tendrils, closest to the vine. It will produce the most fruit.
Yes.
Zedekiah, who do you have stationed to man the watchtower?
I believe it is Shamgar. He's a good man, sir.
Oh, yes, Shamgar. I've heard of him. How many men does he have with him?
40, my lord, with 20 more in reserve.
That's good. You see, at this time of harvest, Hezekiah, the harvest time seems to breed thieves and marauders. Not to mention wild animals such as bears, boars, jackals, and foxes. Ah, Shamgar. Always good to see you. I have a special task for you today, especially because it's the peak of the harvest season. Understood? I want you and Shemaiah to man the watchtower. How many men backed up? Precisely how many men do you have?
40 and 20 women.
40 and 20 in reserves. You need them all. I've heard reports of the farm down south about marauders raiding the vineyards during harvest time. I want you to have the men along the hedgerow, understood, about 40 paces apart. But I want you and Shemaiah in the watchtower. Immediately? My other kinsman, Zebulun, I want you to look at this, Hezekiah. I heard reports of a severe storm that was to come up this way within the month. Well, that was 4 weeks ago. I've had no word from my kinsman Zebulun nor Asher. He was supposed to send runners to me every other day to let me know the condition and the status of the storm, and I've heard nothing. No runners have arrived here.
Nothing. We haven't heard a word of anything at this point.
It's not like Zebulun not to keep me posted. Hezekiah. This is why we didn't hear from Zebulun. This is why the runners never came. This is the storm the almanac of the prophets said would come. I fear it's going to be more ominous than we suppose. This is why it's been days with no word of Zebulun. Sir? Hezekiah, quickly summon the servants from the fields as quickly as possible. Let no one remain back, Hezekiah. Miriam, make sure my wife and children are down inside the barn in the lower level. Understood? Take your servants with you and go there as well. It will be the only safe place from the storm.
Ladies.
Quickly! Shamgar, your men have already gone to the southern part? Quickly, Alanis Michelle. I fear that anything left out in the fields